Beard have going to the NBA Finals, and who does he have winning?
I'm going to stick with Phoenix because I started there early in the playoffs. I'm going to stick with Phoenix, and I'm going to say Milwaukee, and that's just going to be a titanic NBA Finals. It's not going to register on the fan meters and the NBA interest meters, but I think it's going to be an intriguing series to watch.
Welcome back to The Hook on Woodward Sports Network. Joining us here, we've got Detroit News Pistons beat writer and a good friend to the show.
Hats off to you.
Prognosticator.
You called it, Rod.
Prognosticator.
You called
Every
it.
once in a while, you get one right. Every once in a while.
You hit that on the button.
Yeah. Right on the
Yeah,
nose.
well, still a few games to go. Phoenix looks good right now, but as the people who play the games with the money, they know it's not over till that final buzzer goes.
That's a fact.
My question to you, Rod, is what did you take from game one, if anything? Does this not only, we were just talking about Giannis Antetokounmpo,
This guy Giannis.
that Greek kid, coming back. We were surprised how good he looked, but is this the tone Phoenix set for this series, or do you expect Milwaukee to have more fight?
Yeah, what struck me is I thought Phoenix would be the team with so many young players and so many guys who didn't have playoff experience that they'd be the team that came out a little bit shaky, but they looked like a rock-solid veteran team that executed from the beginning of that game all the way down to the end, and they looked like the team that wanted to win the championship if you just look at game one. So obviously Milwaukee's going to make some adjustments, and Giannis did look infinitely better than I thought he'd look. I didn't think he would play at all in game one. But they were just trying to get him out there, see what he looked like, see if he had anything, and he did have a lot. They just didn't have a lot of help around him.
Rod, do you think it was actually the smart play to actually play him, or do you think that they should just sat him out one game and then brought him in tomorrow night, see how he plays?
Well, the way he looked, yeah, that was the right play to see what he had. And you want to start figuring out what kind of rehab he's going to need from game to game. So you want to do that from game one at the start of the series and see, is he going to need an extra day? What type of treatment does he need? Is the knee responding to the treatment? You want to figure that stuff out very early on in the series. So I think that was the right play to do it. But just what he was able to give them, I was just amazed to see that. But you want to see more from Chris Middleton, from Drew Holiday. Those guys have to contribute a lot more.
Rod Beard joins us, Detroit News, our good buddy, covers the Pistons. We'll talk about them in just a bit. But 25 out of 26 last night from the free throw line. That's how you win a ball game.
Yeah, it absolutely is you get those easy points. But they were able to break down the defense and take advantage of those switches that Milwaukee was doing. And Milwaukee is a good defensive team. I don't know why they made some of the choices they made to make some of those switches. Chris Paul just kind of had everybody on skates and doing whatever he wanted them to do. Good for hockey, bad for basketball. But just defensively, they didn't seem to be prepared for what Phoenix had.
So, if saying that, what does Milwaukee have to do? Obviously, the guys have to step up a little bit around them, but is this something that they can come back from? We've seen them. To me, Milwaukee losing, they're used to losing the first game in every match, so they're not in a different situation. Something uncomfortable, but I'm looking for. What do you look for early in this game too to that'll establish, I guess, the tempo for either team?
Yeah, I think it's just going to be in how they play defense and how they execute those switches, that you've got to keep Drew Holiday right next to, stapled to Chris Paul if you can. Because if Chris Paul sees any of those other guys, the big man, he's just going to take them right to his spots and do what he needs to do with them. So you've got to keep Drew Holiday. And that's part of the reason you got him, is that he's a good defensive point guard and on-the-ball defender. So you want to keep him with Chris Paul. But with Booker, too, you can't give him open looks. You can't give him open lanes to get to the rim and to get those easy and ones that he's been getting.
Does Dario Saric's injury hurt the Suns? Or is it
It's not it doesn't end the thing for them, but it's a depth thing, and certainly with Crowder, with Bridges, with some of the other guys that they have, they can make up for it a little bit. The big man is not where the issue is; it's the guards and what they're doing on the perimeter.
Torn ACL. I feel bad for the guy. First quarter
yeah.
mixes up with Brooks Lopez, and that's it for him. That sucks.
So what do you got? So you picked the finals. I know you still got Phoenix winning. How many games does it look like?
Yeah, I wrote the other day, I said Phoenix in 7. I think Milwaukee's going to have a good comeback, and playing at home is going to give them a little bit more juice, though. But it's just a question of whether they're going home when they're down 2-0 or if they're able to get game 2 and split this and make it an even series going back home.
How about everything that the Detroit is talking about? I know all the kids here at Woodward Sports, they can't even stop talking about Cade Cunningham possibly coming to the Detroit Pistons. When's that NBA draft? July 29th? How can we move it up?
It can't get here soon enough because this Cade Cunningham stuff is just bananas. Why are we talking about this? He's the number one pick.
Every day.
Just go pick the guy.
Hey, Alex, hey, you know what? The one thing that I love, and I call it the way it is, and we do here at The Hook, but Alex, you got a little clip about prognosticator Rod Beard. If people want to get on this Rod Beard train, man, my man might know something. I'm going to take you back to a little bit of history.
Right for lottery night.
Going to the NBA Finals, and who does? What do you have a vibe on? Maybe what you think they're gonna get? Do you think they're gonna move up at all in your heart of hearts?
I think it's in my heart of hearts. I say one or two. I really feel like it's going to be one or two, and that could be nothing. It could be whatever I had for breakfast. But I think it is going to be the year that they finally break through and they get to one or two because it fits the rebuild and everything else. And so many other teams. This playoffs whole sequence is different. Maybe this draft is going to be different too.
All right, Rod. So
Thank you, Rod Beard. Thank you for bringing us Cade Cunningham.
What
do you guys do? Just pull my. You guys just pull my greatest hits and just say, "Hey, here are the ones that work." That's two today.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now we got to know what you had for breakfast and see if you had the same breakfast on both of those days.
I'm writing it down.
Turkey, egg, and cheese omelet. That's it. That's a breakfast of champions right there.
Okay, how many games are the Lions going to win?
Turkey, egg, what kind of cheese?
It's a Swiss and American mix. It's Mexican cheese. You can
I
just
would
put it
have
on
just gone American. I would have missed out on the Swiss, and I wouldn't have been as lucky. Thank you.
Right.
Well, you got to do Swiss. You got to do Swiss.
Did you have that this morning before you answered Tom Mazaway's question about how many games are the Lions going to win?
I did not have it today, so it's going to be a cloudy prognostication on Lions. But you know what? You can always be safe with them. Just say 6, 5, 6, 7. If you say 9 or 10, then you're playing crazy.
Don't forget, there's an extra game now. There's 17 games.
What'd you say, 9 or 10 in your
9
local?
or 10 right here.
Does that really,
senorita?
Does that really matter? Does an extra game really matter for the Lions?
No.
In terms of win total? No,
Not
there you
at
go.
all. Not at all.
No.
Hey, what are you seeing as far? But Rod Beard joins us, our good friend from the Detroit News, covers the Pistons. Are you seeing any possible trades? Forget the draft right now. We know we got the number one pick, but do you see the Pistons actively maybe trading for a player or two? And I know I want to ask you about that Lakers and OKC possible trade for Kemba Walker too.
Yeah, I think there might be some fringe sort of things, some smallish stuff, but nothing huge. No Jeremy Grant type of deal, and none of these rookies going anywhere. I think they're just going to build this and be very prudent and very patient in what they're trying to do. And again, if you go Cade Cunningham, you don't need to trade anybody or do anything else. Everything else is just around the edges of it.
Hey, what did somebody, you wrote about something the other day. Somebody texted you in this 3 or 4 team trade, and it looked pretty good. As a Piston fan, I think I would take this deal.
Right, and any trade you're talking about with the number one pick has to involve the number 2 or the number 3 pick. Don't come at me with anything else besides the number 2 or the number 3. This person that emailed me had the number 2 and the number 3 pick, which, sure, you give me Jalen Green and you give me Evan Mobley, sure, we can talk then. That's the conversation starter. But it was just something that I think Houston was getting Cunningham and James Wiseman from Golden State. And Cleveland was just the black sheep of the bunch. They got just the worst of it. They're giving up Colin Sexton, who's going to Golden State. And they were getting the 7 and the 14. And who was the other guy they were getting? Just some throw-in salary filler. And then Golden State was getting Colin Sexton and somebody else, too. So it's just something that it's something that fans put together. And they always have a slant. You can see the team that they're rooting for because they always get the best end of the deal. And then there's always some mark team that's in there that gets the worst end of it. And in this case, it was the Cavs. And I got more responses from Cavs fans who just said, see, this is what the league thinks of us. This is what people think of us, that we can't even get a righteous deal out of any of this stuff.
Hey, tell them to be quiet. They won a championship. They're fine.
Exactly. I mean, you've had your years in the shade, and you're Cleveland. Deal with it.
How many number one picks have you gotten, too? Give me a break.
And messed up how many of them? I don't even entertain it.
Hey, speaking about our old number one pick, Andre Drummond. he's been a little ornery lately, hasn't he? Been saying, "Hey, if I would have been fed this many, this many passes, I could be as good as fill in the blank."
Yeah, and I mean Dre's just having fun. It's his summertime. He doesn't have anything better to do, and I think he's always thought of himself as a high-level player, and contract-wise, he was always paid that way. But we're seeing that the league is going away from those traditional big men, so he's going to have to change his game and hone his game unless he can find a good spot that's going to utilize him. And we saw what the results were with the Lakers. So I'm interested to see if he's able to continue there or if he finds a path somewhere else.
Last thing, I might have missed it when you were talking about the Pistons earlier. I might have fallen asleep by accident. But did you talk about Kemba Walker possibly being dealt from OKC to the Lakers?
It's again one of these things where a Lakers fan says, "Who do we want?" Yeah, the Kemba Walker. Let's figure out a way to get him, and who can we fleece to do it? Kyle Kuzma? Come on, nobody's giving you Kemba Walker for Kyle Kuzma and throw in whatever picks you want to. Again, if people who send trades always have an agenda on hand of the player they want, and it has to be fair for both sides. The other team has scouts, they have video, and they watch games too, so they know what players are.
All right, Rod. Thanks so much for coming
Rod.
on, brother.
Yeah,
congratulations on
always
all
good
your prognostications.
Yeah, I need to get one more right to complete the triple. And Pilar, don't let these guys spook you out. It's the rain will pass and you'll be fine. I don't even know what to say. I don't even know what to say.
Yeah, it passed, but it was really hard. The winds were blowing down trees. It looked like
You missed it the other day.
lightning.
She jumped out of her seat on a thunderbolt. She literally
Come on.
jumped out of her seat.
Come on.
I mean, gosh, everything in the news, like buildings are coming down and stuff. Like, I don't know. I don't want to. I need to.
She lost her wedding ring. She's looking through her kid's poop for a wedding ring. I mean, it's all over.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Are you serious? She's having a whole week.
She is.
I lost the bets, and my husband and I owe him a 30-minute back rub that he turned into a foot massage.
She won't rub his feet.
No, that's gross, guys.
He beat her. Italy beat Spain. She won't rub his feet.
Well, Spain should have won yesterday. Spain was carrying the game. That's what. Fish, don't look at me that way. Spain should have won.
welching
Spain
on it?
played a
Are you
better
Yeah,
game.
welching
she's
on a bet?
welching. She's
Did
welching.
you lose the bet and now you're welching on it?
Oh.
No, well, the bet was a back massage. Now he turned it into a foot massage.
So
and I don't
what?
think I should have to rub his feet.
Why not? It's your husband.
Is he your husband?
Yes, he's my husband.
What are we doing here? What are we
I
doing?
don't know, Rod.
I got
don't
nothing, man.
know. I think
You
the
say
three of
take it
us
easy
agree.
on her. I'm just telling you the other side.
Mars and
I'm-
Mars and Venus.
I'm switching sides. I'm switching sides now. That you can't welch on a bet.
No.
That's
I'm
terrible.
not welching. He just changed it. He changed it. The bet was a 30-minute back rub, and now he wants a 30-minute foot rub.
Yeah, but
I feel
it
like
So what if he
sounds
cha-
back rub
If
is
you
So
were
what if it's
in
a-
the back rub and decline the foot rub, then you didn't welch. But
So
you're
what if it's
welching
20
'cause now
minutes?
you're turning
What if
to
it's a
the foot
20
rub.
minute foot
Yeah,
rub?
if it was 15
That's what
or
I
20
said.
minutes, but I just feel that a foot rub is so much more work than a back rub.
Oh my God.
I
There's
can
less
use my
foot.
elbow.
There's less foot than there is back.
Yeah,
I
good point.
understand
What are we
that,
doing?
Which means I need to work more.
Sorry,
You got
Rod.
something,
I can use my
you
elbows
got
on the
something wrong with
back.
piggies? You don't like little piggies? Is that it? You don't like she don't like little piggies.
Apparently
That's
not.
the truth. This little pig went to
All
my
right,
Jenna
Rod.
said,
We'll let you go, Rod.
Unless
Thanks,
the fee
Rod.
All
is
right.
part of the original bet, don't do it. That's right, Jenna.
Come on,
Girls
Jenna.
All right,
stick together.
See you, buddy.
We'll
Thanks,
see
Rod.
you. Thanks. We'll see you
so
next
much
time.
for joining us.
Rod Beard, Detroit News.